what it means to be an American. America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare.
We, the people of this great nation.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We, the people of this great nation.
Good morning, my fellow Americans. First and foremost, I would like to begin by saying I hope you guys are enjoying your Christmas Eve. I hope you enjoy your Christmas. I will not be podcasting on Christmas Day, but I wish you all a Merry, Merry Christmas. I hope you spend as much as humanly possible time with your loved ones. Yes, I would recommend you follow CDC guidelines, but I would recommend that you spend as much time with your family. And if you can't follow CDC guidelines, oh well. Because you know what? You don't know how long they're going to be on this planet. And this is the time where people spend time with their loved ones. And you don't want to miss out on any moments like that in your life. Like to go straight into what's going on right now. Okay, and I have Dr. Q. Dr. Q's here. What's up, Dr. Q?
What's up?
I need you to speak a little louder, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Okay. So I'm going to break it down to you. I've been doing a little research. I've been digging because I've been trying to figure out this whole electoral college process. And I've come to the conclusion that there is no pathway for Donald Trump on the electoral college. And I'll explain to you why. It's more complicated than what I thought it was. It wasn't just the Amendment 12. It's the procedures and the way they go about it. So what happens is basically they can contest. One Republican congressman, one senator, they contest. Then what happens is they go into a contested argument for 2 hours. Both parties, they split up. The Senate and the House, they go and they have their arguments. We know the House is controlled by the Democrats. They're all going to stand by their guns and they're all going to say, you know what? No, Joe Biden won, right? Then the Senate could possibly go on Trump's side. It's not looking that way. It's not looking like all senators would vote for Trump. We already know this by the way Mitch McConnell, Bitch Mitch, is acting. So what's going to end up happening is it's going to go right back. And then somebody else can do it again. And this can go on till we run out of senators and congressmen that are for Trump. And all they will be doing was going back and forth, disputing the same exact thing, but it would be a vicious circle. And at the end of the day, it'll be 4 days of pretty much them contesting it and not getting anywhere. The only person that can actually do something about it would be Vice President Pence. He can therefore acknowledge, since it's been contested, he can acknowledge the votes or he can count the votes as he sees fit. And then it would automatically go to the Supreme Court for a hearing or for a decision. That being said, I don't know the loyalty or how loyal Vice President Pence is to Donald Trump. I think he's extremely loyal. The problem is, what if it gets to the Supreme Court? Then what happens? So me breaking all this down and looking at everything that's happening, they're slow playing the count. In Georgia, we all know this. They're doing this intentionally because they know now we have a different situation occurring in Georgia where the Secretary of State is at least acknowledging fraud can be possible. Now they're changing their stories. Today he released a report saying that there's 8,000 votes, people trying to cast votes out of state, 8,000 of them. So now he's acknowledging the possibility of fraud. See how the stories are going to be changing. Apparently, Trump had a win in Wisconsin where a judge was saying that 200,000 ballots should not be counted, which also would put Trump on top in Wisconsin. Now, what options does Donald Trump have here? The Insurrection Act, executive order. That's the only option he has. If he has enough evidence to pile up enough evidence to prove, because he's got to prove it to the public. I mean, the bottom line is we can all put the pieces together. We all know fraud occurred in this election. We've been called delusional. Today I was on a FaceTime with my family. They were having a party and they were pretty much laughing at me. They were like, listen, let it go. 2024. And I'm like, I'm not letting it go because I'm not going to let our democracy go down the drain like this. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to surrender. I go, I mean, I can't control the outcomes because I'm not in any position of power, but I'll continue to preach the good stuff and I'll continue to say what I feel and what I think really occurred in this election. Now, that being said, Donald Trump he's going to have to execute something on his end. And I don't know what he's going to do. I can't predict what he's going to do. I know he's an extremely intelligent man, contrary to what most of his critics would say. I think he has an extremely high IQ. I think he steps ahead all the time. I just don't know what the hell he's going to do. I really don't. I can't sit here and say I do. I can tell you that the electoral pathway will be very difficult. And we already see the swamp creatures are already betraying him. They're turning their backs on him. So we're kind of like in a position that I really don't know what we're going to do. You know, so as for those people who are worried about the Georgia runoffs, it seems like Warnock is pretty much done, dead on arrival. We already saw his video of his ex-wife. Apparently, he tried to run her ass over. Not a good look for a guy that wants to be senator. But apparently, he loves Fidel Castro too. So nothing.
They're trying to.
Nothing's.
Meta's trying to break it down, to water it down. They're saying that, police didn't put any charges on him. She didn't have anything wrong with her foot. There was no injury, this and that.
Yeah, I don't care what the police says. Her on video is damning enough. That's it.
Exactly.
Her on video is damning enough. So that being said, I mean, maybe Dr. Q can bring in some of his QAnon knowledge. I like to bring him in, guys. I know I get a lot of people sending me emails that, you know, he needs to stop washing dishes, for example. That's one complaint. He needs to focus on what he's doing instead of doing other things while he's doing this. But he's a very hard man to get a hold of. He's well connected with the QAnon community. People don't know how deep he is in this QAnon conspiracy that's going on right now. But nevertheless, I don't know. Maybe you have a different look at this. Maybe you look at it from a different view from where I'm looking at it. But from where I'm seeing it, it's an uphill battle for Donald Trump. Extremely uphill battle.
Well, like I said, it's not about what you can see. It's not about, you know, what the law is, this and that. You know, it's about what he has and what he doesn't have. And from what I understand, he has enough to take down all the deep state actors. And, you know, there's going to be some serious, crazy shit going on within the next few weeks. And from what I understand, no matter what, Trump's winning, no matter what. I don't know which way he's going, but no matter what, he's winning. So, you know,
I think it's not about faith. I think you're being over optimistic. I can't tell you. This is some great news for America. So America should be very proud of how the rest of the world looks at us right now. Right now, there's caravans preparing in Central America to head straight to our borders to try to get into our country, since Joe Biden will be inaugurated January 20th. So you can just see already what a difference, before this man is even president, already how people are pretty much saying, yeah, this guy's going to let us do whatever we want. China is already pretty much demanding that Joe Biden go into the Iran nuclear deal again with Iran. It's incredible how fast you can see the difference between a Trump presidency and a possible Joe Biden presidency. It's incredible. This shows you the influence of a president that puts America first and a president that puts every other country first. Stimulus package being the perfect example of these swamp creatures. I'm so happy. I spoke today about it, and I had predicted that he was most likely going to veto it, and apparently he stood by his guns and made a speech, and he's sticking by it. Dominion is trying to intimidate. Dominion is suing Newsmax, threatening Newsmax, OAN, and Fox News. about their coverage on Dominion systems, which is kind of ironic since we kind of have a proof, and seems like Arizona's refusing to follow court orders as well as Michigan. But I guess that doesn't matter. But I mean, Q, you gotta be able to give me more than this. I mean, you can't just say, you can't give people hope when there's nothing really that we can go by to really confirm that Trump is going to come back in.
I want to be honest with you. You know, nobody knows what he's going to do, but he's going to win, and that's it. That's the done deal. No matter what, he's going to come up.
That's dictator talk. I mean, you can't look. You can't say talk. Yes. It is. Yes, it is. When somebody wants to just get power. What's going to happen is, I think he has so much incriminating evidence on all these politicians in power now. I think that this is all going to come out, and I think it's pretty much going to just change everything. That's what I think, but I don't know. My whole thing is I don't want him to go in there, do some sort of executive order, and then he can't prove his case. That's my biggest fear. I mean, I know there's enough I guess there's enough evidence in the sense where we physically have seen enough to know there's something shady about this election, but we don't have the actual documentation, the facts, and he needs to make it crystal clear to the American people when he does anything, if he does anything. Now, that being said, just by the people that he is pardoning, it makes me believe that he is pretty much getting ready to leave office. This is not the type of pardons that a second-term president would be doing.
Why not?
They normally do their pardons.
He does what he wants to do. You know what I mean? That's his right.
No. Well, I mean, he's allowed to pardon whoever he wants.
Right, but I'm saying, why keep them in limbo? You know what I mean? Like, why do it as soon as possible? It's Christmas. Christmas present.
And you know what? Apparently, anybody who asks Joe Biden about his son is a dog-faced pony, whatever the fuck that means. He seems to repeat that to everybody. I mean, he literally said in an interview that nobody in the media cares about the story of my son. Yeah, because they're protecting you. Because everyone in the media is trying to keep it out of eyes because they know. And now apparently DOJ officials are also saying that a special counsel is warranted, which means pretty much the Department of Justice is saying, listen, this shit, you need to have somebody. If this guy becomes president, you need to have a special counsel where this guy can't dictate or stop an investigation from occurring. He is corrupt. Yeah. Joe Biden is corrupt. 48 years of doing nothing but enriching his family. As a matter of fact, I saw a new number on values of presidents. Barack Obama was worth $3 million, I believe, when he came out of before he went into office. Now he's worth about 40. Now he's worth about 40 million. Hillary Clinton was worth 500,000. Now she's worth over 100 million. Donald Trump was worth 3.5 billion, and now he's worth 2.5 billion. He didn't make money. He lost money. He is for the people.
I heard different.
I don't care what you heard. I can fact check this. I mean, this was reported by Bloomberg. So, I mean, this was reported by a major news outlet. They're anti-Trump.
Obama was a millionaire before he even became president.
He was. I said it. 3.5 million. It was what he was worth
before he became president.
Yeah, he was worth 3.5 million, but he jumped to 40 million, which is a shit ton of money to jump. That is a lot of money to jump. Joe Biden was worth what in 2000? Prior to being vice president, he was worth what, 300 grand? Now he's worth close to 20 million. Imagine when he gets out of presidency if he lasts the first 6 months. Again, I'm just trying to give people a realistic. I've been fighting for Trump. Believe me, I fight day in, day out. Dr. Q sometimes shows up to my stream. He sees me arguing back and forth with these liberals. I point out the facts, they ignore it. I point out the evidence, they ignore it. The evidence can be right in front of their faces, and they're still going to ignore it. But the bottom line is the justice system is failing us. That's what it all boils down to. Judges are not doing their jobs just based on law. Let's forget about voter fraud. Throw voter fraud out of the mix. Just based on state law and the way that the state is supposed to handle their elections, they broke the law on all
Federal
fronts.
law. Federal law.
No, state law. They broke their they
federal
broke
law. This is a federal election. Federal law.
They broke federal law at the moment they certified the election.
Well,
If it was a fraudulent election, but their state laws is what makes the state what the legislators make the state laws for their elections, and they all broke their own state laws, and the Supreme Court justices didn't even choose to engage or at least listen to it or give transparency to the American people, and that's something that's quite depressing, to be honest with you.
Well, Jay, the reason why I say federal laws, we're talking racketeering. You know, this isn't just like little BS shit. This is a planned group. You know, like all the states, all the swing states. This is racketeering, definitely. This is a major federal law.
I mean, you have no proof.
10 years or more, easy.
You have no proof to back any of your claims up right now.
What do you mean? Every state did the same thing.
No, not every state did the same thing. They did similar
they
things.
They all had the Dominion. They're all working with the Dominion. They're all doing the same exactly what they all did the same in every state. They all rigged that election the same way.
The simple fact that I see that they're refusing to show the machines makes me realize there's something wrong. What do you have to hide? If the elections were done, and then somebody brought up, we should do a revote. We've never done that in the United States, but we should do a revote. Yeah, I would actually agree with a revote. If we were to do a revote, yeah, this would all be exposed in a heartbeat. Heartbeat.
Check this out. This is what I heard today. This is on another station. It's 610. It's called Black Information Network. This is what they're telling everybody.
Don't be promoting other stations here on my channel.
No, listen.
Don't you be
this is a station in Philadelphia. Okay, they are telling black people specifically. They say black people go to Georgia. No, I'm sorry, go to Georgia. I apologize. They said apply register to vote in Georgia, and you will have a possibility to win a Tesla. That's their thing. Is that crazy or what?
I mean, it's fraud at every level that you can think of. I mean,
yes.
But yes. They get away with it. I mean, they were giving out gift cards. They were giving out gift cards, and they were giving out all sorts of things when it came to. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is the times that we are living in right now. And I really don't think we have any control of it.
Well, so what it's saying is they're going to do the same shit, but they're trying to, instead of people that weren't registered, they're trying to get people registered. Doesn't matter where they're from. They're trying to get people registered. They're going to say they were registered voters.
I think they're not going to be able to pull this off.
Well, I don't think so either now, but I'm just saying that's
too many eyes are on them right now. You know, so there's way too many eyes on everything that's going on right now. But that being said,
so you have Biden. He didn't choose his attorney general yet. So that's pretty big. Who do you think he's going to choose?
What's that?
Who do you think he's going to choose?
Who?
Biden for his attorney general, because he didn't choose one yet.
I mean, everybody's the talk that everybody's saying is that he's probably going to go with Andrew Cuomo. He's got Andrew Cuomo in his mind. I'm not sure. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Do you feel homeless in today's American political world? Not really into either candidate or party? guess what? You're not alone. Join me and others just like you across this great country for a discussion of politics from a viewpoint that you can't find in today's media, the middle. I'm your host, Brian Grozier, and I invite you to join in on the discussion by downloading and listening to the Middle American Podcast.
I think the last minute he's going to go for what's his name? The one that was with the Obama administration.
Well, I
Who's
mean,
AG?
there's a very good possibility. He's been putting a lot of Obama appointees onto his
Yeah, but who's
cabinet.
the AJ? I forget his name.
Hmm?
Black guy.
Oh,
He was involved with the whole Mexican thing. That big what the hell was that? DEA agents got killed or something like that.
I'm not sure what you're
He-
referring to.
Who was the Attorney General when Obama was president?
Holt? Wasn't it Holt?
Was it
Holt?
Holder?
Yeah.
Holder. Yeah. I think he's going to make it to him. I think he's going to appoint him.
I don't think so.
I think he's just not letting everybody know that because he knows how bad it's going to look.
I mean, look, the
I-
bottom line is right now, at this point, from the people that I've spoken to, from the Republicans that I've spoken to, I mean, from everybody across the board, I get sources that tell me that military's getting involved. I have sources that are telling me all sorts of things. But from the average American, what they're telling me is they feel like that's it. Joe Biden is going to be president.
You know, this isn't an average American topic anymore. This is way above that ranking. So
I don't know where you're getting your sources from.
well, it's okay. Just telling you, this is way above. This is way above that. I mean, you don't even realize that we've been in war for the longest time already, and you know, I'm not even going to talk about it because it's so outlandish that you won't even believe what's really going on, and you know, that's cute for you. So,
I mean,
I'm sure,
it's not cute.
I'm
It's
sure you're
you.
going to find out. You know, I'm sure Trump's going to, you know, make everything come out. So
I mean, look, one thing that I am pretty certain,
reveals it.
one thing is one thing that I can tell, at least let you guys know that I'm pretty fucking certain of. If he does leave the office, he will drain the fucking swamp before he leaves. That much I am sure of. He will expose all these people. He will declassify a shit ton of documents, and we are going to see what we have never seen before. That much I am certain of. I'm just.
The
I'm.
thing is, you don't even realize what he has. Like,
Neither do you. What do you know that he has? Tell me. What do you know? What do you possibly? What information
it's
do you
just
have?
So much.
You have nothing.
Every politician that's involved in anything criminal, you know,
Q. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's every politician on every side. I don't know where you think you have some smoking gun that might change
Not
anything.
me. It's not me. I'm just telling you what.
Well, I mean, you seem to be extremely confident. I would like my listeners to understand why you're so confident. What sources do you have aside from conspiracy theories at this point?
My source is from a very high high-ranking military. So
In other words, guys,
that's my source.
he's full of shit.
No, I'm not. I'm not because he's been pretty true recently and everything. So, you know, that's why I'm like really happy. So
What
I
I
don't
fear,
have
what I
any
fear the
doubts.
most, what I fear the most is that Trump has been going so much with this voter fraud that he's giving people a very bad taste in their mouth
No.
on this whole issue.
Not at all.
And
Who?
a lot of
Any
Republicans, the Republicans that support him.
bullshit. Out of the 78 million people that voted for him, you think one of those,
First of all, if you can't even
voters-
get the right numbers on who voted for him,
what was it, 70 something, right?
74 million. For God's sakes, man.
Right. I said 70, 78?
You fucking gave him 78. That's almost close to Joe
Who
Biden.
cares? I think he had more than 74 million. And I think he even stated that he did. So I bet you more closer to 80 million. But anyway, out of the we'll say 60 million, who do you think that is actually going against him? Who do you think actually is thinking what you just stated? None. Not one Trump voter is actually feeling that way. Because when you're a Trump voter, you're for the truth, you're for strength and America, and that's all it's for. And there's no way you're going to sit there and second guess our president, because he's doing everything he can to be the best president as possible in the next elected. So I don't see any Trump voters, anybody that is for Trump to go against him in any way ever. You do?
I mean, I'm looking at it from a realistic point of view.
Yeah.
And from a realistic point of view, I don't see an avenue for him to win. I really don't.
That wasn't my question. My question is, if you're a Trump voter, out of the 74 million, are you just any of them? Do you think any of them are going to go switch and go against him?
Well, of course. I mean, most people on that platform are liberals.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking about liberals. I'm talking about a Trump voter.
Okay, a Trump voter. What about? Okay, you're confusing the hell out of me.
If you're a Trumper, okay, let's put it like that. If you're a Trumper, okay, out of the 78 million or 74 million that voted for him, do you think there's one of them that are going against him?
Yeah.
Because what he's saying now.
Yes.
I don't think one of them.
I've spoken
Not
to
one.
several people. Yeah.
Well,
Unfortunately,
they're not real.
yes.
They're not real Trumpers then.
I don't know what a Trumper is. Okay, first and foremost, I don't know what a Trumper is supposed to
I'm
mean.
just saying that's just
It's a
word,
very
whatever.
stupid thing to say, but I don't
real Trump. Kevin.
huh? I don't know what a
Yeah.
real I mean I don't know what a real Trumper is.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, somebody that voted for Trump, loves Trump, listens to everything he states, and feels that it's the truth, and they want things the way he's telling them he's going to do, and he's for America, all America. So you think any of them are going to go against him ever?
Yeah.
Well, then they were never real, Trump fans. I mean, they weren't ever, because anybody that's for Trump is full Trump, and that's it. We'll never go against them. We'll never go, to the other party. We'll never even think that.
I mean, look, again, I understand where you're coming from. I understand this. I mean, I understand 100% where you're coming from. The problem that I'm seeing here is, again, I don't get where you think this is going to change anything. Do you understand what I mean?
Like I said, that was not my question. You answered the question. you said, yeah, people would go against him that actually voted for him.
I mean, I
I'm
know
telling you,
I
I
know
don't see
people
that happening.
I know people that are already doing it.
And they voted for him?
Yeah. Because people are just, they're tired, man. They're tired. People give
Well,
up quick. People
Yeah, that's a weak person.
people feel, it gets to the point where you start seeing so many cases being dismissed. Yes, they're being dismissed on procedural reasons, which
Yes,
means that
they're
he
all
has
bullshit.
which means he has very lousy lawyers. But you see all this happening, right? And then what's happening is that people are like, okay, I want this to come to an end already. Like, I'm tired of this. And that's what I see a lot. I see a lot of people that are just tired, and they just want to go on with their
Weak.
lives.
They're weak.
They're not
you
weak.
have to. You have to stick by him. You have to trust him. Trust the situation. It's a situation where it might take a little longer. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be real soon. But you have to stick by him. You got to have faith. That's it.
Because you gotta have faith, the faith, the faith.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotta have faith, the faith, the faith.
So, so today they had the BLM and the Antifa. I forget. I think they were in Michigan, and they stated that they do not support Biden at all. Both of them said that, and they said that they support Karl Marx, which is Marxism, Satanism, same thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, we've always known BLM is a Marxist movement. We've always known this. I mean,
but they blatantly stated it on camera, like it was funny as shit.
I mean, well, one of the founders, she said she's a trained Marxist. So, I mean, this isn't anything new. I mean, look, I just want Americans to understand something, that President Trump leaves office January 20th. We will never, ever have another Republican president in office. That's one. And we will never have a president like Donald Trump ever again. This is a president that has put America first. I got into a very heated debate today with several people that are obviously left-leaning. And they kept telling me, show me the proof, show me the proof, show me the proof, copium. And you know what? I exploded. It was the first time I exploded, and I started breaking it down. I broke it down to a T. I gave them examples. I gave them, I was telling them, I find this wrong. Yes, I find this wrong. Yes, I find this wrong happening on election night. Yes, I find this wrong. I find
How old were they, Jay?
Huh?
How old were they? Young as shit, right?
I'm not sure what their age is. I mean, a lot of them jump in, and they're either in college, they're men. They're just men that just, I guess, hate this country. I cannot see anybody loving this country and believing that this was a fair election, or anybody in this country that can actually look. This is the example that I continuously keep using. The left only wants a win. They don't care how they get the win. They don't care if democracy falls apart.
Of course not.
It's just like the Patriots. It's just like the Patriots. The ball being disinflated, Tom Brady disinflating the football, doesn't matter as long as they got the win. It's the same example.
I think they're purposely on your podcast to trigger.
Well, they don't trigger me because I don't really give a fuck about what they have to say.
Trying.
They can try. They can try. The problem is I'm much more intelligent than to fall for these little traps. They bait me all the time, but I don't fall for it. It's not about that. I run that stream merely to understand the left and why they think the way that they think, and I've come to the conclusion they're just a bunch of idiots. I mean,
they're just brainwashed.
I don't even think it's as far as being brainwashed. I think that they've been babied their entire lives. I think that they don't realize that it's a privilege to be born in this country. You don't deserve anything aside from being lucky enough to be born in this country, but apparently they think they deserve more than that. And that's where the problem occurs. They want free things. I spoke to somebody today that went to college. He said, I never enjoyed anything while I was in college because I worked my ass off to make sure that I was able to pay my college with my own money. And I asked him, how would you feel if right now they wiped out everybody's student loans? He goes, I would be livid. He goes, because I lost out on most of my youth because I spent most of my time working to maintain and pay my college tuition. But when you offer enough people free things, and mind you, these are just offers, it never comes through, which is the other stupidity about the other most ridiculous thing about the left. They continue to promise, and they never complete their promises.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Donald Trump is the complete opposite, but that's just a whole different subject. But nevertheless, so we have this vicious little circle that continues to happen in our politics, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm starting to look back at the numbers and the irregularities, and I'm starting to think that these people rigged the 2018 elections as well. I'm starting to think that this shit's been going on for a lot longer than we. And I think the only reason it was exposed is because Donald Trump just had such a massive amount of people come out that it damaged their plan. And what happens when you have a plan in place but you don't have a plan B? Then you go into the stage where you make mistakes, where you start doing erratic things like shutting down voting in the middle of the night. That makes it extremely suspicious. I mean, again, look, I can give so many voter fraud examples, but the problem is no court wants to get near it. No court wants to get near it. So what do? As Americans, what do? We can't do anything. We're limited.
What happened here with this whole
See, the Democrats are just so dumb. They don't realize
this is going to open up. I guarantee, I will bet that Donald Trump has so much evidence that he's going to rip this thing open wider than ever. Like, we're talking years of voting fraud. I guarantee it. I will bet, and he will have 100% proof. I will bet you any amount of money.
Well, time is ticking, my friend. Time is ticking. He's got to do it before January 6th. Whatever he's going to do, he's got to pull the trigger before January 6th.
No, he will. Trust me, he will.
Once those votes are in and counted, and I do not see Mike Pence voting for Trump. I just don't see it. That is a huge that is a huge move. That is a huge bet. The crazy thing about it is that these can actually be contested because we actually have legal battles going on as we speak in a lot of these states. So technically, they shouldn't even be counted because there's still legal battles occurring in these states on whether or not the elections they're being contested. Basically, the elections are being contested within the states, but they're slow stepping the whole way. Georgia seems to be slow stepping on the signature audits that they're doing. Arizona's refusing, and Michigan to give up machinery. This is just beyond my understanding what's going on. I can't even.
JJ, what happens if you get an indictment, right, and you're refusing to give information? Like, you go to jail. You know what I mean? Like, these are crimes. Like,
the perfect example here is, right, if you're innocent, right, and somebody gave this example today on my stream. If you're innocent, right, and then somebody accuses you of, let's say, you stole 10 bicycles, right, and you hid them in your garage, right, and then a police officer knocks on your door and tells you, listen, we were told that you stole 10 bicycles. Can we check your garage to make sure that, you don't have, they said that you're storing them in your garage. Can we check your garage? And then you tell them no, right? And then they go to a judge, they get a court order, and then they appear in your house, and then they tell you, listen, we have a court order. We would like for you to please show us your garage with this court order. And then you still refuse it. Yet you're obviously hiding something,
Of course.
Because if you're innocent and you have a court order by a court official, you wouldn't hire a law team to fight that. What
But
do you
there's
have to
there's
hide?
no saying no to them. They're going to break that down because they have authority now.
I mean,
So-
I mean, again, the legislators should have taken this into their own hands. The legislators should have gotten involved. Problem is, a lot of Republicans were seeing their true colors. If Donald Trump does not get elected, I strongly think we, as people that believe in America first, we believe in our Constitution, should separate ourselves from this party, this so-called Republican Party, and we should, and I believe strongly that Trump has the capabilities and the support to create his own party, a
Yeah,
party
yeah.
that's an America first party, because this party obviously doesn't have our best interests at heart. I mean, Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi were quick to become socialists together, to sign off on
yeah.
a bill that gives everybody money and then gives $600 to American people. It's an
definitely.
embarrassment. It's embarrassing that we're giving more money to foreign countries than we are to American people, to
They're
taxpayers.
beyond.
It is a
crazy.
smack. It is a smack in the face of every American, whether you're a liberal, Democrat, or Republican. And Nancy Pelosi has gone on the record already. She's already clearly stated that she was holding out on passing and getting this bill and negotiating this bill because for political reasons. She said it live. And I mean, she recently even made a threat that she was gonna, that she can't wait till they take Trump out of office, even if they have to pull him by the hair, even if she has to
Yeah.
drag him by the hair. I mean, this is how low these people go. Okay, they're talking about
evil motherfuckers.
they are talking
don't
about
care.
they are talking about a sitting president. When have you heard anybody talk about a sitting president like this? When
'Cause
have
they're
you ever
evil.
seen the media talk to a sitting president the way they talk to Donald Trump? It's appalling. It's disgusting. It's un-American. And to me, every single one of these people are traitors. Every one of them. They're not patriots. They're not Americans. I mean, again,
they're not even people,
every
man.
whistleblower was considered a patriot according to the standards of CNN, MSNBC, all these left-wing media outlets. The mainstream media always called whistleblowers patriots until the whistleblowers were blowing the whistle on what the Democrats were doing, and it was favoring Donald Trump. The whistleblowers are no longer patriots; they're liars. They dismiss them. They're trying to get attention. They're being paid off. They're
Of
just
course.
Trump supporters. They're not important. Let's just get on with it. Let's just forget about it. Let's move on.
Of course.
That's
They want
essentially
the
what they're
next
telling
phase.
us. Now let's
They
go.
want the next phase.
Let's go to
They want the
numbers.
reset.
Let's go now to statistics and numbers. 32% of Americans in 2016 felt Russia interfered with our election. 32%. 42% of Americans believe this election had fraud involved. 10% more than the Russian collusion hoax, right? Why aren't we investigating this to the fullest? If 10% more, but we were willing to throw down $40 million, taxpayer dollars, for an investigation that we now know Mueller knew from the beginning had no substance and was, it was basically a fantasy that the Democrats created in their own mind, that they thought they were going to find something and found nothing. But they're just pretty much telling Republicans, you know what, you guys are delusional. Your votes don't matter. Your ideas don't matter. What you believe in doesn't matter. And we don't care what you think. We're going to do whatever we want. And we're going to make decisions. And we're going to choose who's president of the United States. And that right there is where I have a huge distrust for our government. I'm starting to lose faith in Republicans. I'm starting to lose faith in them. Well, I've never had faith in Democrats. But I mean, look, Rand Paul got on the Senate floor, and Rand Paul said it so well. I mean, that man, that's why I was first a Rand Paul supporter before I was a Donald Trump supporter when he was running for president. Rand Paul called them for what they are. He goes, as he pretty much called every Republican that signed off on that bill, on that ridiculous bill, a socialist. In layman's terms, he pretty much said, "You guys have criticized the left so much, calling them socialists, and you guys are literally passing a bill that is a socialist bill. Massive spending.
They're undercover rhinos. Exactly what they are.
They're not. They're not rhinos. They're establishments. You get them confused. They're people that are in power. They're people that are in power." And I would go as far as to say that Mitch McConnell probably rigged his own election as well. I would go as far as to say that.
I think we're going to find out so much more than you even have. You have no clue. You have no clue.
I don't think you have any clue either.
No, I do. But you know, you're going to. There's so much that's going to come out. So much that you can't even fathom. Like crazy stuff that you don't even, like I said, you can't even think about. Like you can't even, you would never imagine. Let's just put it like that.
I can imagine a lot of things.
I know.
I mean, but again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe in any of that. I bring you strictly for entertainment, and I know that you bring some knowledge to the table as well. You're not just entertainment, but at the same time, you're a little bit far-fetched on a lot of things. I think you're overly optimistic on things, and I think that you need to perhaps maybe do a little research on process and how things work in this country and how the Constitution works, and then you'll have no, you don't. You'll have a better understanding. Really you'll have a better understanding on how things are handled in this country. Everything is against Trump right now, and the problem is that
it always was, Jay, from day one.
I know this. This is why I voted for him. I know. Yes. I know this, but this is where we have an issue is that if he can't bring the evidence, and they're not allowing him to bring the evidence, and he can't prove the evidence, he's at a standstill. He's at a standstill.
Of course.
It doesn't seem as if. Look, by the comments that he's saying on Twitter, it doesn't seem like he's planning on leaving the office, the White House. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the sense that I get. But what's going to keep him in there? Because he's got to get inaugurated. Nobody could just sit there as president. Then you would be a dictator. You would no longer be a president. And nobody in the United States can stand for that. Not Republicans, not Trump supporters, not anybody. I'm just really hoping.
I predict the way he's going to do it is going to be so astronomical where you never saw it ever. I think he is going to just bring out so much crazy evidence of everything, and it's pretty much even the Democrats would not Democrats, but like Democrat voters would choose him as a president. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, again, I hope you are. I hope you're right. I really hope. I really hope you're right. But I mean, it's just something that I just don't see happening.
Well, when it does, I'm going to be on your podcast, your stream, and you're going to say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." You got to really kiss my ass big time online, on stream.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to kiss your ass ever because that's something extremely dirty. I wouldn't kiss your ass ever in my entire life. But
we'll figure something out.
But nevertheless, I mean, look, I hope you're right. I mean, I hope you're right. I really do.
Let's go to a different topic. So today, your Proud Boys, I'm pretty sure it was Michigan, mocked BLM and Antifa. They actually had more blacks than whites compared to Antifa and Black Lives Matter today. They were all whites compared to Proud Boys, which had like a lot of different, uh, blacks, Puerto Ricans, all kinds of different, races. It was funny. It was real funny.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. But again, those are not my boys. First and foremost.
No, I'm just saying, you're Proud Boys, people.
I mean, I don't know anybody in the Proud Boys. I know one person, and I have no respect again for the Proud Boys. That being said, I feel that people need to be. I feel that people need to be ready for everything that might come their way, because things might not be exactly what people expect. I hope and pray, and let me tell you, I don't normally pray, but I'm at that point that I'm praying. I'm actually praying that Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, because if not, I see us in a very, very bad position in this country. I see us in a very bad position. I see us. I don't foresee us in any which way bettering ourselves. I don't foresee this country getting any better. Already, what other countries are doing and demanding already scares me. The fact caravans are getting ready means they're not going to respect our borders, which means they already know that Joe Biden is the joke and that he is a joke, which is what we all already know. So, I mean, again, we just have to wait it out. We have to see what happens, and we have to hope that democracy still exists in this country. We have to really hope. I mean, we really have to really hope that that people will stand up. I don't have an answer to this. A lot of people send me emails telling me, please give us some hope, give us some stuff, but I've got to be a realist. I've got to be a realist, and I've got to look at it from the options that Donald Trump has on the table. And the only option I see is an executive order. I mean, I don't see any other way this man can stop this from happening.
Jay, like I said, this has been known before he was even president. He knows everything that was going to happen.
How the fuck would he have known that? Come on. I mean, for you to say that is just ridiculous.
All I'm saying is the military is for him and only him. They'll never go against him. Okay, and they're involved. It's going to be another 1776. Let's put it like that.
I mean, I hope it's not. That means a lot of people are going to get hurt.
Yeah, well, it can happen that way.
Well, let's just hope it's not another 17.
I think it's set where it's not going to happen that way. I think it's all figured out. So.
I don't, at this point in time, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I know that this country does need a reset, but it needs a reset from the liberals. The liberals, their brains need to be resetted, and they need to start thinking realistic, and they need to start really getting out of their parents' basements and stop living in their parents' house, get a job, and get into the workforce and understand what makes this country so great. I think people forget that this is a country where they give opportunities to everybody, me being one of them. I've had a rough past, and I was able to rebuild myself even having that rough past. Not to mention that my family came from a dictatorship, a socialist country, communist country, whatever you want to call it. I would consider more of a dictatorship, but my parents fled from that country. They came over here, and this country accepted them with open arms, and they gave us a better future. And my goal as a father and as an American is to give my kids the best possible future ever. I want them to be raised with the same values that I had. I want them to be raised with the same opportunities that I had, if not more opportunity. And the way I'm seeing it right now, this country under a Biden presidency or under this Democratic progressive movement that's happening right now is heading in a downward spiral where we will not know America 20 years from now, where we will not know what America looks like, and it will just be a part of our history that they'll probably end up trying to cancel eventually. And just like they're trying to do with everything else. And we're just going to lose our country. We're going to lose everything this country stands for. Everything. And that is my fear. So I just, again, but I want everyone to forget politics. I want everybody to put that aside. Enjoy the holidays. I want you guys to spend as much time with your family. I want you to enjoy your Christmas holidays. And always remember, there's a power above that's looking over us, and is looking. Good usually prevails over evil. Good always prevails. The truth always comes out, whether it's later or now. It does come out. And I think that people need to really. I think people really need to let loose on New Year's. I think you really need to make the most out of it because we've had a rough year all across the United States. And you know what? Reality check. If you're thinking about not partying or enjoying yourself, know this. Every single one of your governors that have put lockdowns will be doing that. They will they will be enjoying themselves. They will be spending time with their families. They will not be social distancing. They will not be wearing masks. They will be doing whatever the fuck they want. So therefore, you should do whatever the fuck you want. If you are a business owner and they are putting restrictions on your businesses, you need to fight back. You need to create an autonomous zone. Very simple. Because apparently when you create an autonomous zone, they don't go in. So you need to create your own autonomous zone. You need to protest this. You need to continue to fight. You need to keep your businesses open. And you need to... They are violating your Constitution.
Yep.
They are violating your Constitution. They are acting as miniature dictators. And they can't do it. They're violating your Constitution. You have rights. And they can keep fining you all they want. They're never going to get that money regardless.
No, never.
This is all pretend fines.
Exactly.
Okay, fight for your businesses, fight for your country, and be optimistic, but be realistic. That's all I'm saying. If Donald Trump pulls something off here, I'm going to be extremely happy. I'm going to be the happiest person. I will pop bottles of champagne. I will make sure to kiss every stranger I see on the street. I will make sure to celebrate. But again, I want everyone out there to be a little bit realistic and not follow too much of these conspiracy theories that are going out there. None of these people know what's going on. The only people that know what's going on is Trump's people and Donald Trump. That's it. That's it. No one knows. There's no sources that know really what's going on. No one knows if Donald Trump has a plan. No one knows if Donald Trump's just going to walk out of the White House and go to his house in Mar-a-Lago. No one knows what he's going to do. At the end of the day, we just have to wait it out. We have to be patient. Every day feels like 2 days, 3 days, but it's a battle. This is how battles are. And we just got to see what the end result is. Anything else you want to add in there, Dr. Q?
Like you stated, when it comes to the lockdowns, don't listen to your governors. Do what you want to do. Have fun. Live life. Don't worry about anything. If you're sick, stay home. Wear your mask, whatever you want. Just my opinion is basically don't eat anything. Just keep drinking. Fluids. Soups, this and that. Nothing. Come on, man. Nothing solid. Come on, man. Because anything you eat, your body actually feeds the sickness. So just stay hydrated. Come on, man.
You're making no sense. I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about. Wow, I just thought you were just gonna say. I just thought you were just gonna wish them a Merry Christmas. For God's sakes, I didn't know you were gonna lecture them on a diet. I
if you
mean,
get-
fuck. I mean, we'll have a
If you
different
get sick-
segment. If you, we'll have a different segment where we'll have Dr. Q talking about his medical profession and what he recommends. I mean, at this point, I just thought he was going to say, "Well, I wish you all a Merry Christmas." I mean, he just went into detail, and I mean, I just had to stop him. I mean, you were extending the show way past the time period, man. I mean, remember, I pre-record this, guy. So right now it is 2:00 in the morning. 2:00 in the morning. I have been streaming, just so you guys have an idea how much dedication I have to this. I have been streaming since 10:00 in the morning for 8 hours straight. Got home, spent time with the kids, got on the podcast, started working on the podcast, and this is what I do. I'm passionate about it. And if you guys can support me, I greatly appreciate it. You guys can visit patreon.com. That's patreon.com/The Republican Nation. You can donate anything, $1, $2. I know times are hard. If you cannot donate anything, I understand. I'm not one of those guys. I just, I'm trying to grow this. I'm putting people under my umbrella. I'm trying to expand the crowd that I have. I want to keep it an open platform where I can have liberals come in and talk. I can have all sorts of different types of people so people can get an idea of what Americans think. We're all Americans. We all love each other. We all want the best for our lives. And I think we just disagree on the way to get there. But nevertheless, if you guys want, you can also you can also donate directly through PayPal, arepublicannation@gmail.com. I use all the money to continue to expand this business. I don't use this to profit in any which way as of yet. I don't make money. I just reinvest it to expand and continue growing this platform. If you guys don't know this, Mark, he's been on my show once before. He's part of the TRN network now, the Republican Nation. He's got his own podcast. It's called On the Mark Podcast. He is releasing his first podcast, and it will air today while you're right after this show at 8 a.m. Just look for On the Mark Podcast, Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think you guys will be very entertained with his show. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless this beautiful country we call America.
We will make America great again.